Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some really exciting news for the Utah fans coming out of the transfer portal as former five-star quarterback Sam Huard committing to Utah heading into the 2024 season. A couple things that really excite me about this one. One, Sam Huard, an extremely talented quarterback, five-star quarterback in the 2021 class, spent a year at Cal Poly after transferring from Washington. Not only does Utah, in my mind, get a very reliable backup quarterback for Cam Rising, but take a sneak peek to the 2025 quarterback room. You have Sam Huard, Isaac Wilson, two extremely talented quarterbacks. Kyle Whittingham putting this program in a really good spot heading into 2025 as well at the quarterback position. Want to get into Sam Huard, give a little background about what he's about, talk about the fit in this Utah offense before we get into it. And as always, just want to say thank you to you guys in it. It's really been a blast covering the transfer portal for the last couple of weeks. Can't thank you guys enough for rocking with the fellas. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into Sam Huard. And I want to start with talking about Sam Huard coming out of the high school ranks. This was one of the premier quarterbacks in the 2021 class. During his high school career, threw for over 11,000 yards in 3 seasons, over 130 touchdowns to only 21 interceptions. There was a reason that Sam Huard was so highly regarded coming from the high school ranks. And you kind of look at what didn't go right during his time at Washington. There are a lot of reasons. And I think a lot of the Washington fans who probably are listening to this as well will tell you in the comment section, Sam Huard, dad went to Washington, was a quarterback for Washington, committed to Washington in the 2018 year. That was when Coach Peterson was running the ship at Washington. You look at what happened over the next couple of years. Jimmy Lake comes in. Sam Huard, no shot at Jimmy Lake, but if you're looking for a head coach that you do not want to be a quarterback under, it is probably Jimmy Lake. Great guy on the defensive side of the football in terms of developing an offense. It was very ugly for Washington, but he stuck with Washington for the first 2 years. He ended up transferring out as Michael Penix kind of took over that quarterback room. And take a look at what he did at Cal Poly. Had a solid year, through for over 2,200 yards, 18 touchdowns in 8 games. Sam Huard, I don't think necessarily has gotten a fair shot. And I think if you're a Utah fan, he's going to come into this Utah program, learn behind one of the more experienced quarterbacks in the country in quarterback Cam Rising, and potentially be a really good starter in 2025. I think a lot of Washington fans are probably rooting for a guy like Sam Huard too. That was a really difficult situation where you commit to one coach, you get another coach. That coach is not a very good offensive-minded coach, and then you have a new coach come in, you have a new quarterback coming in. The cards just were not that great for Sam Huard during his time at Washington. And if you're a Utah fan, what you're most excited about is you look at this Utah team in 2023 in the Pac-12, which was, for my money, one of, if not the best conference in college football last year. Hopefully no SEC fans, Big Ten fans are listening to this. The Pac-12 was loaded last year. And you take a look at what Utah did, going 8-5 with quarterback play, where, again, not a shot at Bryson Barnes. He was not a Power 5 starting quarterback. He threw for only 58% completion percentage, 12 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. The fact that they won 8 games with that kind of level of quarterback play, if you're a Utah fan looking over the next couple of years, you know you are good in a lot of different spots. You head into 2024. I'd even argue it's kind of looking at some of the names and kind of the numbers for Utah heading into 2024. Is this one of the more talented offenses from a skill perspective that we've seen Utah have? Obviously, you've had guys like Dalton Kincaid in the past. You look at Brent Keithy, Landon King, you get Carson Ryan in the portal. Those are one of that's that you see in the country. You look at the wide receiver spot, Dorian Singer is a year removed from being an all Pac-12 performer, over 1,000 yards at Arizona. Micah Pittman, if he can stay healthy, we like what he brings to the table. You know what you have with Money Parks. Look at this Utah team and say, this was a team that was one of the best units or teams in the country in 2023 had they had good quarterback play. You look at 2024, Cam Rising coming back. You certainly have good quarterback play. You have good backups and a guy like Sam Huard and Isaac Wilson. You're looking at this Utah team in 2024. We're going to do our Big 12 rankings in just a little bit and say, this has to be the team that is the favorite to win the conference first year in the Big 12. I am fired up about where Utah is going with Sam Huard. I'm fired up about this Utah team in 2024. And I think it's such a good fit for Sam Huard, right? Andy Ludwig, I think, a phenomenal offensive coordinator. You look at Cam Rising and say, hey, that is one of, if not the best quarterback in the country to sit behind for a year. And that kind of seems to be the understanding where you come to Utah, you sit behind Cam Rising, and then you're ready to be the guy in 2025. I think Utah suddenly went from having one of the worst quarterback rooms in the Power 5 in 2023 without Cam Rising to having a damn good quarterback room heading into 2024. I think the Utah fans should be fired up for not only getting a really quality quarterback into your room as depth in 2024, but more importantly, in 2025, that quarterback room, it's looking like it's in a really good spot. We'll cut it there. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.